So today I'm going to be doing two different audios because we have Mother's Day coming up. And I used to blog a lot about Mother's Day, and I decided to take those down, and I'm going to put some new ones up because they just had some, older references and so forth. But I did want to talk about it because Mother's Day is going to be coming up soon. And if you have either lost a mother or if you are unfortunate to have a narcissistic or an emotionally immature mother, then you're going to be struggling perhaps on Mother's Day. So let's first look at why it's important to honor our mothers even if we have had a negative experience. And that is because you are a part of this person. Even if you were adopted, you have taken on some of their just mannerisms, some of their ideas, their values, and even if your coping strategies that you developed because of how they treated you are present, it's still really important because you are who you are today, DNA or not, because in part of your mother, even if your mother didn't raise you, her rejection or her absence is actually still a part of what made you who you are today. So I don't want you to ever not honor who you are. So it is very important for you to look into just that honoring of who you are, in that you must honor everyone in your past, even if you do not agree with them. So let's look at if you had a mother that has passed away. So I'm going to go into three different areas here. So a mother that has passed away first. If you have lost your mother, you are dealing with grief, you are dealing with loss, you are dealing with memory, and I'm going to do another audio or video on that very, very soon. But today we're just going to talk about, when you have Mother's Day, and I'm just going to give you a little snippet of this, and then I'm going to have another one that you can look at. But when you have Mother's Day and you have lost your mother, it's always a good idea to still honor her because she is still living within you in some way. Whether it is DNA or not, something about you exists because of your mother. And so honoring her and honoring her place in who you are today, even if she was negative towards you and she has passed away, and if you need to make peace with her, really important. And I highly suggest going into some forgiveness work before Mother's Day and on Mother's Day, really working on just taking a half an hour of your day, meditating, praying, and just being comfortable with who you are, because being comfortable with who you are is part of honoring Mother's Day. And what I would love for you to do, especially if you had a great relationship with your mother. I had a great relationship with my mom, and she passed away at the time that I'm taping this about 20 years ago, recording this, excuse me, that's showing my age there. So about 20 years ago she passed away. And for me, what I like to do is just carry on traditions. She always made a point of waking up in the morning on Mother's Day and singing and being in a great mood. And so I like to just sort of wake up and just enjoy the morning. Now, I don't sing, but I do like to wake up and just enjoy looking outside. If it's a beautiful day, just checking out the birds that are out there, maybe feeding birds and just enjoying nature. And that's important to me. And that is actually a part of carrying on my mother's tradition, which is a way of honoring her and honoring the mother inside of me. Now, if you really had a hard time with Mother's Day because of your mother passing away, and you've had a hard time in the past, I should say, you can turn it around and just focus on honoring Mother Earth. You can do that as well. And so far, Mother Earth has definitely given you enough oxygen and nourishment. So even if you're emotionally in a struggling place, focus on Mother's Day. Now, let's get into what if your mother was a narcissist or emotionally immature, past or still living. How do you deal with that? Now, understand that if you have a mom who has been emotionally unavailable, self-centered, focused only on her own needs, rejecting of your needs, playing favorites between children, putting men in her life first, never following through, being unreliable, misspending income because really she's focusing on herself and not helping you maybe when you were a child. All of these different things that could potentially really cause anger, hurt, and bitterness inside of you. And I have worked with a lot of women who have had moms who really were negative and hateful and jealous and angry towards them. And I want you to know that you are not the problem. And even if you know that on the surface, somewhere deep inside, you may feel that you weren't good enough, that in some way you weren't enough for your mother. And I want you to just focus on really looking at if you feel on Mother's Day or with Mother's Day approaching that you are fixated on what she did to you or what she even has been doing to you in the present day, you're going to have a harder time with forgiving and releasing and honoring Mother's Day, even focusing on Mother Earth. Even if your mother's alive, you can still focus on Mother Earth. It doesn't have to be about her. You can send a card if you feel that an obligatory card or gesture is going to keep things status quo and without too much drama, but you can actually spend more time on focusing on something that nourishes you to get your needs met, that your mother, whether she meant to or not, directly or indirectly, maliciously or innocently, has failed to meet your needs when you needed her most when you were young, or even if now she's suddenly becoming this person who you don't know, you still need to self-nourish. And so whether it is a prayer or a meditation, I do not want you to have a day where you are flushed with bitterness or feeling like as you walk through your day or through the days upcoming that you are holding baggage that is weighing you down. I don't want you to feel that. I don't want you to forgive to focus on the relationship. Even though I am very hopeful that you can mend ways with your mother, I really am, but if that is not to be, or if it's not to be in the present moment, I want you to focus on forgiving for yourself, to release the tension in your body. You will notice if you look in the mirror, if you start discussing how your mother has made you feel, if you're struggling with a mother who is very narcissistic or downright hateful towards you, you will notice when you look in the mirror that your face looks different, that your skin maybe even looks less alive, that it feels like when you're looking at yourself that you start to feel ugly or that the color is draining from your face. And so what I want you to do is I want you to look in the mirror and I want you to do some mirror work, which is looking in the mirror and telling yourself what you needed from your mother or what you currently need from your mother. And I want you to take that and I want you to then think of who are the three people in your life, and they can be professionals. It could be your therapist, your doctor, and your chiropractor, okay? Who are the three people in your life that can show you that you are worth it, that your time is important, that your feelings and your health is important? Who are people in your life that can deliver some of the needs that you did not get from her or are not getting from her right now? Because that is very important to have, and it is integral that you honor that. That you honor that you have not or are not right now getting your needs met, and that you deserve it. So as you're looking in the mirror and you're saying this out loud, I want you to stand nice and straight. I want you to deep breathe. I want you to even stretch as you're looking in the mirror, and I want you to begin to look at yourself as becoming more empowered. And what does empowered mean? It doesn't mean that you're throwing power around. It means that you're believing more in yourself and that you're behaving in a way that is honoring who you are, that is honoring the energy that you need to tap into to nourish yourself. Now, I think it's really important to go ahead out and take a walk and connect with nature. But if you're in a situation that just being by a window is best for you, maybe the weather's not great, or maybe you have a hard time getting around, then look out the window. Connect with nature in some way, because Mother Earth is actually the ultimate mom for all of us. We call it Mother Earth, it could be Father Earth, whatever you want to call it, but it is a parent. It is a nourishing space for us to get our needs met. And so that is why it is often, well, I actually don't know if this is exactly why it's called Mother Earth, but I would think that Mother Earth is called Mother Earth for the very sake of it is the first place that we get nourishment and are able to live. It is where we are actually born. It is where our mothers and our ancestors were able to be. So I want you to think about that area, and I want you to understand that it is a tradition on Mother's Day, and there's a lot of pressure on Mother's Day, whether your mother is narcissistic, self-centered, rejecting, whatever the dynamic is, that we have this idea that motherhood always needs to be about nobility, how in awe we are of this woman. And, for some people, that's unrealistic, because maybe this person wasn't able, she did not have the tools, the resources to be the person that you deserved. That doesn't mean you have to dislike her or hate her or have any anger. So how can you let go of all of the things that people have done to you that remind you of how your mother has treated you? Because ultimately, your anger with your mother is not always just about your mom. It's about some of the decisions you've made in your life because of your mom, because of how she made you feel. So diving into that and forgiving that space allows you to see her more as human, take her off that pedestal, and take away that nobility, and just understand seeing her as the person who she is with flaws, as we all have. So, just kind of forgiving her in a way that actually releases you. And don't wait until Mother's Day to do this if possible. Start working on it now. If it's Mother's Day afternoon, start working on it in this moment and continue doing it all year. Continue this practice of looking at Mother Earth. Continue to focus on honoring the person that you are, and that you are exactly who you are because, in part, of your mom, good, bad, or indifferent. So by rejecting her, by being angry at her, you're only throwing it back to yourself. So with a deep inhale and slow exhale, put your hands together into prayer, fingers, thumbs at heart center, press the palms together, roll the shoulders, close your eyes, and just now take some time to focus on the mother energy within you and around you, whether it is an actual mother that you miss, who has passed on, who you had a great relationship with, whether it's someone you've been struggling with, whether it's bad memories or something that's happening in the current moment. Take all of it together, push all of it into Mother Earth, and allow Mother Earth to nourish you in a way that serves you.